Hello, my name is Ben Winter. This is the Student Music Network, and I'm joined by Bonnie Kemplay. How are you doing, Bonnie?
I'm good. Yeah.
Awesome. If you're listening to the radio show version of this, you're not going to see the incredible background Bonnie's got with the earth behind her. But yeah, not as um, I've not done quite so well there. But anyway, I guess I wanted to start like this chat with kind of talking about your future plans. So you've already supported Bleachers and Adele this year and started releasing music for your debut six-track EP, Running Out of Things to Say, Running Out of Things to Do, which is a line taken from the chorus of Was It Obvious?
Yeah.
The EP comes out on the 14th of November. I'm not sure if this is going to come out before or after then, but what would you like your 2023 to involve?
Um, I would like 2023 to involve um some new songs that
Nice.
I hopefully write. I'm in a bit of a writer's block at the moment, so I'm just counting on that I'm gonna write some songs.
Nice.
And then hopefully lots of exciting live shows. I guess like in my head, next year is like the year of playing live lots because I've done some cool stuff this year, but
Yeah.
uh, like I've had an injury in my arm, so I've not been able to play guitar properly. Whereas
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
I'm kind of recovering from that, so next year I can just shred all year.
Nice. Lots of shredding in 2023. I love that. You're talking
Yeah,
about having a bit of writer's block at the moment, which is obviously sort of everyone creative will go through something like that. But you've signed to a record label, Dirty Hit, which in itself carries quite a cult status with it. How would you say your writing process has, how does it typically go? And how would you say it's maybe changed, if at all?
um well, I guess like I feel like it should have changed because now it is like my job, so I like need to be writing more, but like I've never been structured with writing at all.
Yeah, yeah,
And I always take ages to write songs.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like very slow. And that's not really changed, which
I
isn't
don't.
great. Like I wish I could just like dedicate like an hour of the day of being like, I'm gonna write some lyrics now, or like I'm gonna properly figure out what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah.
But I struggle so much to do that. It's
No,
something that I hope in a year's time I can be like, yes, I write 2 hours a day and do an hour of lyrics and an hour of like
yeah.
guitar parts, whatever. But
No, for sure. Like I know that it doesn't work like that. Like so many, there's so many stories of like artists and musicians having like their best ideas, like just as they're going to sleep or something, or like even like having like a shower or something is like so like that's where like the thoughts will kind of come out, and you're like, oh God, I've got to like get my phone and record something. So is it kind of that sort of thing of like an idea comes to you and then like you're feeding off of that rather than right, what am I going to think about today? It's like, yeah,
yeah, I think it is all sort of like bursts of creativity. Although
yeah,
I will say that like I do try and write a lot more now. And like
yeah,
even though at the moment I feel like every day I've been trying to write a few songs and like I'm just not getting anywhere. I kind of
yeah,
just like that's part of the process. Like all of those ideas that I've come up with, I don't like. So it's
yeah,
like I've done that, and at some point I'm gonna get to something that I do like.
yeah.
It just feels like incredibly like unproductive at the moment, but I'm sure it's productive in some way.
To kind of go back a bit more, um, the kind of the record label thing kind of seemed to come off the back of the BBC introducing Live Lounge competition,
Yeah.
where you kind of fended off the competition with thousands of entries, and that's like where I first heard Blushing, and I was like, wow, like obviously that's kind of an obvious winner, really. What was your experience of that process, and like, was it quite as was it as bizarre as it seems?
Yeah, it was really weird. It was funny as well because it came at a time that like I guess that competition began because of lockdown. It was kind of like an opportunity for a grassroots artist that like can't perform because of
Yeah,
all the restrictions. Um, and I think around that time I was feeling quite like down about music because I just hadn't really been able to do it.
Yeah.
And I was also just like it's always been my dream to like be a songwriter and stuff, but I've always had that sort of like sensible part of me that's like think of backup jobs or like be realistic about or like manage your expectations, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, I get you.
At that point I was just like very much like I would just love to play in someone's band, or like I just don't know if my music's ever gonna get there because like my other like one of my first few singles like didn't go much further than like my friends and family. So I
Yeah.
don't know, I was feeling a bit cynical about it. But then yeah, the competition came about and I love Live Lounge. Like I've watched it for years.
Yeah.
And I love it a lot because of the sort of like cover arrangement aspect. Like I love hearing someone's twist on an original or and like that's something that I really enjoy doing. So it felt very like up my street.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I was like really excited to enter. But honestly, like at every stage that I got through, because there was like the long list, the short list, and then
Yeah.
winner. I always like they would say like you're gonna get an email or a call at like 5 p.m. if you were
Yeah.
in the next round. And I got it like half an hour late every time. So for that like half hour, I'd be like, oh,
It's
whatever, like
gone.
competition over, like it's fine, it's cool. And then I'd be like super shocked when I actually did get the email through. But
Oh, that's really cruel. They're like really, yeah, no wonder you're suddenly like, oh, what the hell? It's actually happened. I'd completely written it off. Oh,
just
nice one.
the BBC for not being punctual.
Sort it out, guys. Come on. Were you studying, or are you still studying in Manchester at a
Yeah,
music college?
yeah, I studied at the Royal Northern College of Music in Manchester for 2 years. So I was in my
Nice.
second year at the point that competition came about.
What was the driving force though for you to like to leave Scotland and pursue music in another city?
Um, I guess honestly, just like I wanted to study electric guitar and I didn't want to do jazz. Although a lot of people think that I did study jazz for some reason. But yeah, I didn't want to study jazz guitar. I wanted to
Yeah.
do like pop, electric. Um, and there's only so many courses that do that. And like, yeah, I just like went to the Royal Northern College Music Open Day. There's also one in Edinburgh, but I preferred the Manchester one.
Yeah, no, sometimes it's nice to like get away from where you're comfortable with as well. And like that's so
Yeah,
much of the experience is putting yourself in that vulnerable position, I guess. So
yeah, I'm like really glad that I moved away. Like I feel like anyone that stays at uni in their hometown, like it's just you just shouldn't. I think you
yeah,
should get
no,
out.
fully agree. That's my last question really. So yeah, thanks for your time. And yeah, this has been Bonnie Kemplay.